iPads are useful for their purpose, but they are no substitute for brains.
All right, here we go.
I have to say, well done, Ray. Well done. Well played, my adversary. Well played.
Phoenix isn't gay, but if he was, he'd pick Fremont.
Oh yeah, he'd be living down there with you in the bunker, man. Woo!
Once you go free, you always do the Z.
Like one day of not going to Duncan, and you could get a controller, a new Xbox, possibly even a cord.
And now, the two guys that took 2 years to fix their audio problems.
And those audio problems are still continuing.
Say it ain't so.
As you can tell from last week's show, where it's only half a show. So,
Well, that's not necessarily an audio problem.
yeah, but it kind of stemmed from the audio. It didn't record audio at all. But we're here this week, which is important.
But we need to get cranking and try and do all this in half the amount of time so that if it does it again, we have a whole show.
Okay.
So with that being said, folks, we're skipping straight to For What It's Worth.
And pick your own music this week. So, how has your week been? Exciting?
Yeah, as exciting as the routine of lather, rinse, repeat of a life can be.
Yeah, I hear that. I'm in retail hell. It's awful, which we'll get to at the end of the show. But I've been sick for a couple of days. Weird. Started off with a headache, and then I woke up the other morning and started having cold chills. Temp of 101. I was like, what the just happened to me? Like, I woke up like normally, and I'm like, okay, feel a little over 50. Went and had a cup of coffee, and I'm like, I didn't even finish my cup of coffee. I'm like, I don't feel great at all. Well, I'm gonna go back to bed. I'm unfortunately gonna have to call out of work.
Did you get your vaccination?
Oh, please.
Did you get your flu vax?
The wife did make me take a COVID test, which came back negative, like I knew it would. This is just a weird thing. Like I had COVID a bunch of times.
It's that time of year, man. It's that time of year. Hot, cold, hot, cold.
Yeah. So, and of course, the weather up here in the Northeast isn't helping because yesterday it was like 20 degrees. Today is 60.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
I mean, your sinuses can't keep up with that kind
No.
of.
I am full of Mucinex and Dayquil right now, so I should be good. I'm having some Powerade before the halftime.
Oh.
So,
Well, see if you can score you some old school Tylenol with codeine. You're just perfect.
Perfect right there. Line you right up.
Shove that in 2 beers, you're good to go.
That could happen. It's kind of like when you look at the side of the medicine, please don't drink alcohol with this. Really? What happens? Because I'm kind of curious now.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into this week's news.
BGFG News. You heard it here third.
So first up in this week's news, how many times have you used a payment app? Like Venmo, PayPal, Cash App? You've used those, right? You're lying.
I don't have a Venmo or Cash App.
You don't have any of those?
No.
You are so curmudgeon. You're way more curmudgeon than I am.
If you want to ask how many times I've bartered with gold dust, that's a whole different story.
Oh, really? Gold dust? So if you use the Zelle app at any time, you might be getting some money back, which is kind of good.
What's that?
Zelle is like an app like that, like a payment app, like a Venmo or a Cash App.
Okay.
So U.S. lawmakers recently had CEOs from Citibank, J.P. Morgan Chase, Bank of America giving testimony in a hearing about the scams that go on these apps. And it's about customers on Zelle that were duped into sending money to like scammers that were pretending to be government agencies, banks, or existing service providers like your phone company or your utilities. And this scam happens all the time. Trust me, in my line of work, I see it daily. Daily, I see this shit. Where they're literally getting scammed out of everything. Now, granted, I don't have a whole lot of sympathy for the person that comes to the counter and says, yeah, Microsoft reached out to me and said that I have some viruses and I need to pay for the service that they were going to provide over the phone with Apple Pay. or Apple iTunes cards. I'm like, really? You thought that was a legit way that Microsoft would want to get paid? Like it's like if it's something like, hey, can you give me your credit card so I can facilitate this repair? That's one thing.
Well, I'm just going to say this. Till we let stupid weed itself out, it doesn't get better.
I had a guy that came in, and he only came in because he called the number, and they literally fixed the problem with his computer and didn't charge him. He's like, right. He's like, I don't know what to think. Did they put something in there? So I took it in, we scanned it, no root kits, no nothing. And I'm like, this guy legitimately fixed this dude's computer and forgot to charge him. He must have been so new. This must have been like his first call.
Yeah. Or it's just, it's one out of every 5,000 people they do that for. I don't know. I've never heard of it, but yeah, I mean, you want to talk about the oxymoron of our time.
What?
Just the whole
Scam? Yeah.
Well, forget it. I'm about to go off on a tangent that'll eat the whole show up. So just forget what I said.
I won't.
I'll do it offline.
Federal rules require banks and such to refund money when done without the customer's authorization. So, like, I recently had a charge come into my bank account, one of my checking accounts, that was a fraudulent check request. So they shut down the account, had to remake the account, move a bunch of, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't apparently count if the customer actually sends the money themselves. So if you get somebody on the phone that says, I need you to cash at me $400 to fix this, the banks say that it's all about specific scams that they're going to refund money. They won't say the types of criteria in fear that criminals will use that against them, which makes sense. But just last year, JP Morgan CEO stated that it would be unfair to have the banks reimburse people for stuff that they sent.
Yeah.
Well, that's not entirely true. I mean, some of these people get scammed, and the scammer is so damn good that they send the money.
Again, till we let the stupid weed itself out, it ain't gonna get better.
During the investigation,
I'll put it out there right now. If you want some of my money, that's fine. I'll split whatever you can get using my social security number. No repercussions. If you can get some money off my credit, I'll split it with you.
During the investigation, it was estimated that Zelle users lost around $440 million during 2021. Again, tail end of the pandemic. It's understandable that might have happened. Banks are worried that covering the cost of authorized transactions is going to cause more fraud.
Yeah, it absolutely will.
I agree. Again, these senators also said that Zelle, PayPal, all these apps need to make changes. They're long overdue for changes in their security policies. And they should have to. Now, granted, you can't do something like, because I know a lot of people, especially my kids.
You're never going to legislate this problem away.
No, but I think it's up to the pay apps to actually, vet some of these payments. Like my kids use it a lot.
Sure, they can come up with a way that known accounts that are scam, shut them down, that kind of a thing. But you'll as long as there's bad people in the world,
yeah,
these problems will always exist. The only way to combat it is to be a savvy individual and not get duped. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. There's a lot of shame on me people out there.
And I do agree with you. I see them daily. That's what my business is kind of built on. But at the same time, if I need the sheeple to understand here, if you make it so that they're so strict in these platforms, then when you get a payment, like if I'm going to pay Fremo for something, that payment might take some time to go through while they vet that payment. So if you're standing in the middle of a business or somebody that you have to pay, like a person that cut your lawn, it's going to take, hours before that payment goes through. And a lot of people don't have that kind of time to wait around, whether you're standing in the middle of a store or you're paying somebody that just did a service for you. They don't have that time to allow it to vet. So there has to be another way these companies have to come up with a security procedure that will allow this to go through, because it is a payment option and it is the wave of the future. I mean, again, I hate to tout on Apple, but Apple did it right. Apples are so secure. It's unbelievably secure the way it works.
I mean, it is, but at the same time, if someone uses their Apple Pay with a scammer and they voluntarily pay the person,
Right.
it's no different.
Agreed.
And that you're not going to fix that. You
No,
can't legislate that.
Right. I don't believe Apple will ever give that back to you. Like, I've never, ever heard of that situation. Ever. Ever. I've heard Cash App. I've heard Venmo. Never heard Apple. And I'm wondering if it's because the requirements to get on Apple Pay are more strict, or maybe even more vetted than something like a Venmo or a PayPal or a Cash App.
Or Zelle, apparently.
Or Zelle. Yeah. So, I don't know. Just be diligent and try to talk to your loved ones over the holidays and try to warn them about stupid shit like this. And though we don't do religion on the show, there was an interesting development that leans more toward conspiracy theory than religion. And that's that the Vatican just put out that you can no longer be a Freemason if you're a Catholic. And that one really kind of threw me for a curve.
Well,
So-
that just means there's going to be some Catholics that are no longer Catholic. I guarantee you they're going to side with the Freemasonry.
You think so?
You want to talk? Oh, you want to talk about a freaking mind-bending cult?
A mind-bending cult.
Dude, I'm not kidding you. I see somebody with the Masonic symbol on their car, I back off. I let them have their distance. Let them go their way.
You can have all the room you need. In 1983, Pope Benedict stated that Catholics that are Masons are.
They're rubbing off.
He stated that Catholics that are Masons are in a state of grave sin. I'm like, okay. So I started reading more of the article. Pope Francis stated, and I quote, active membership in Freemasonry by a member of the faithful is prohibited because of the irreconcilable differences between Catholic doctrine and Freemasonry.
Yeah.
Okay. Take that into account when the church just last week stated that transgender people can now be baptized, serve as godparents, and act as witness in Catholic weddings. Whether you agree with that or not, this is what the Pope stated that the Catholic Church will now do. But then they turn around, make a drastic decision like that, or drastic change like that. What do they know about the Freemasons that we don't? Like, there's that whole, we've talked about it on the show before during conspiracy stuff and Zootopia Null about the Vatican archives. And there is some shit in the Vatican archives. Even some of the people, some of the clergy at the Vatican that have podcasts, and they do, are very tight-lipped about what goes on. They're like, we're not allowed down there. Like, certain parts of the vault, we're not allowed. And the fact that there is stuff in this supposed vault below the Vatican in the library and the archives, what do they know about the Freemasons that we don't? I mean, we know a lot, you and I. And we've probably never done a show on Freemasonry. And I've been to a couple of Masonic lodges. Even the lower end ones that are just like meeting halls, not even lodges, have, like, if you look at some of the art and stuff on the wall like I did, I even pointed some out to my wife when I was there. I'm like, this is some
of the
heavy
symbology.
shit.
Yeah, some of their symbology, man. If you know what you're looking at,
Yeah,
should
exactly.
scare the crap out of you.
Exactly right. There's like all sorts of, what do they know that we don't? That's my kind of take on this. It's not so much
Well,
as
I've got a take on it, but I don't
Go
know
ahead.
if you're ready for that volume of hate mail.
Oh, maybe not, but we should probably break out Subtopia Null in the new year and do a thing on Freemasonry. Because I think that
All right.
shit's interesting. And it's really, like, the people that are higher up Freemasons are really tight-lipped. The lower Freemasons, from what I've gathered, really don't know squat. They're there for networking purposes. They encourage people that are more or less blue-collar, like the Masons originally
The-
started, bricklayers and things like that. What?
Yeah, you've got to have numbers to suck the souls out of.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's going to give me some hate mail.
I mean, if you told someone, you know, when they're first coming into a cult that we're going to own you and we're going to suck the life out of you, they're probably not going to join.
I don't know. Have you seen some of these people?
Well,
Not
yeah,
not
I mean,
necessar-
some people
not
will
Masons, not just
voluntarily sign up
Masons.
for that crap, but
Yeah,
oh
not,
no, it's not just
yeah,
Masons. No, I mean there's all kinds of.
cults.
I mean, that's essentially what you have going on here. You got the Catholic Church warring with the Freemasons now.
Yeah, that's what we need, more war. And speaking of conspiracies, have you noticed that everybody's rushing into space? Like, it's really strange how much. I mean, we love talking about space. We
Well, I
do
mean,
it
it
a lot.
makes sense. I mean, Russians
What?
were the first one to space, so everybody going to space is Russian.
Oh, I see what you did there. That's great. That's such a dad joke. Uh, Japan just established a 6.6.
Actually, that was a granddad joke.
That's fair. Japan just established a $6.6 billion fund for outer space industry. Outer space industry, not exploration, industry. The fund will be allocated over 10 years.
You
Many
mean
countries.
660 billion?
I thought it was 6.6.
Is it?
I believe so.
You're right. You are right.
Wait a minute, hold on. Fremo said I was right. Let me hold on to that for a minute. So many countries are ramping up their space projects. Washington is hoping to have a lunar outpost by 2025. A fucking lunar outpost by 2025. And it's a countrywide thing.
They figured out how to get power to all that stuff because
Helium-3.
you figure that out, building an outpost is no fun.
Well, the moon's covered in helium-3, which is a perfect source. I mean, one payload of the old space shuttles could run of helium-3, the space moon dust, can run this entire country's electricity for a full year, which is untapped potential, which is another thing that we've brought up in the past show, Subtopia Null segment, where it was like, why have we not gone back and all that? But now there's this sudden rush to go back to the moon. Japan's looking to do the same thing by 2036, which I think is a little bit far away. You have India crash land. No, what was it? Oh, it was Russia that crash landed.
Do you think it's
a
a coincidence that this is happening right after Starfield was released? I think not.
That's nice. Automakers, even Japan, automakers like Honda and Toyota are contributing for rovers and such, and tools and things like that for this whole mission. But I thought it was funny. I wanted to bring it up because if you look around, like every country is making a mad dash to get to the moon and Mars, for that matter.
Yeah.
But the moon is the first stop, and they're doing it quickly. Like the U.S. is talking about 2025 to have a base.
Well, all I'm saying is
what?
The planet formerly known as Mars. if they don't beat him there,
look. We still.
If Elon gets there first, he's going to claim the whole planet. It's his.
I agree. And we still haven't even seen like true good pictures from the dark side of the moon. So it's very interesting. The whole moon thing is very interesting to me. Finally,
you want it to be hollow.
I'm not saying that it's hollow. I'm saying that there's maybe something.
You want it to be an alien superstructure. We already know.
Yes, that is true. Not want, it is.
Okay.
Stop looking around like somebody's going to come and kidnap
It
you.
is. Okay, yeah. And I'm the world's first trillionaire just because I think so.
Well, you are friends with Elon, so I don't know. Last story for news this week, because it just tickled me so funny. And if you haven't read this yet, don't read it yet. Because I'll tell you about
I've read it.
Josiah Zakrowiski is banned for 12 months. She's a ultra marathon runner, and she is banned for 12 months. And you might be wondering why somebody like this is banned from a marathon for 12 months for a full year. You might think blood doping. That broke down the bicycle community. You might think it was bumping and being rough to another runner, like it's wrestling or some shit.
Or cutting a few corners.
Or, yeah, taking a shortcut or something like that. It's none of those. It is literally the most obvious thing that you could do to get disqualified. she jumped into a car mid-marathon. She stuck out her thumb. I don't know if she stuck out her thumb, but she jumped into a car. She finished and accepted the trophy and the medal for third place finish in the Liverpool race. Tracking information later showed that she had traveled 2.5 miles by car during the race.
I mean, if you're gonna do that, you might as well stay in it for another like 5 miles and come in first.
Right.
I mean,
I wonder if she flipped off other racers like on the way by.
Yeah. Could you imagine how mad she was at that Uber driver because she's all like down in the back and going, okay, how many have we passed? All right, did you see number 47? You did? Okay, great. Stop, let me out. Gets out, starts running, comes around a turn, 47 still in front of her.
She's not even sweating. She was informed that they caught her and told to return the trophy and medal. After a week, she still didn't. She's still
like,
not.
No, I'm not going to because I didn't use the car in a competitive way.
I wasn't driving.
What? You use the car in a non-competitive way? Can you? I would like an explanation of that statement. Please.
Yeah, that would be great. A non-competitive
By the way, I need you to Zelle me some money.
That's good shit. All right, let's get into this week's music. My God, that first half flew by. That's okay, because the second half is kind of long. So I found a pretty cool song. It's a little long. It's like 4 minutes. It's from a Dutch rock band called Vertigo. This song is called Endangered.
We did one of their songs a while ago.
Did we do this one? Endangered
I don't
Species?
know that we did this one, but we did a Vertigo song a long time ago.
Well, if we did, enjoy it again. Because it's a pretty decent song. So here's Vertigo, Endangered Species. On the other side, we'll get some stick style and game awards, which is interesting. All right, here we go.
Preconceptions make you wanna check this out. This talk of fake
I had it on mute again. And I nailed that too. Vertigo, Endangered Species. What'd you think?
It's a good song. I've spent the whole time listening to it, trying to figure out what other Vertigo song it would have been.
I don't know. I could do a search.
I think it must have been another band called Vertigo.
Could have been.
There's a crap ton of them out there, and not many of them are Swedish, if any. But anyway.
Yeah, there was. So
I digress. That was a good song.
I am drinking again. I am drinking the Whole Garden. Looking forward to finding that place one day. What are you drinking today?
Nothing.
Oh boy.
I'm on water today.
Oh, that's you feeling okay?
No.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. All right. Well, I will drink for us.
You do that. Although I might get something a little later.
Let me just wash that down with some whiskey. Okay. Here
and that's what I love about you. You do everything backwards.
Yes, I do.
Chaser than the shot.
Yeah, I always get confused. All right, let's get into this week's gaming because there's a lot to cover.
Gaming.
All right, so first up, we're going to talk about the 2023 Game Awards nominees. There's a full list in the show notes, and we're going to talk about just the ones that we like. No idea where some of these numbers come from because some nominations are for games that came out less than a month ago. So this is the same thing I hate about all these award shows, whether it's the Oscars, the Emmys, the Game Awards. It's like, why you guys only count in the last like 3 or 4 months? Like, why? Because there's some shit that comes out in like January, February. Like if I was a game developer or a movie and I thought I had a contention to be part of an award show, I'm probably going to hold off and try to put that out later.
Yeah.
So let's get into some of that. We're going to go kind of backwards because we all know that we want to hear the last one. But all right, so best esports games. Nominees are Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, League of Legends, PUBG Mobile, which surprised me, and Valorant. Good choice for esports games. Those are pretty much all the esports games now, especially since Overwatch is now gone.
Right.
The best sports or racer, which should be 2 separate categories in my opinion. You got Football Club 24, F1 23, Forza Motorsport, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, which just came out, and The Crew Motorfest. Let's speak on that. I think for us, it's going to be Forza Motorsport, though I have to give a nod to F1 23 and Football Club 24 because they're so in depth. If you're into those two things, they are like the be all end all. Kind of like for us with the racing sim. There's a lot of racing sims out there, but for us, for Stick Style Group, Forza Motorsport is kind of like where it's at. Hot Wheels is fun, and The Crew is just like a different version of Forza Motorsport. Next up would be the best fighting game. You've got God of Rock, which I've never even heard of. I never even heard of God of Rock. But it sounds like something I'm going to check out after the show. Because God of Rock as a fighting game sounds very fun. Like if I could put Ozzy Osbourne against Rob Halford. I mean, that's some quality shit right there. Mortal Kombat, of course. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl.
I wonder if it's going to have like a Brutal Legend vibe.
Oh my God, wouldn't that be great? And by the way, folks, you can still play Brutal Legend. And we encourage you to do that because if you're into 80s, 90s rock, it is the way to go. And it's got a lot of real voice actors in there. Ozzy actually does something. I don't even know how they made him coherent. Rob Halford's in it. There's just so many people. Jack Black. The intro to the game, Brutal Legend alone, is worth the money you would pay at a retail shop for the Brutal Legend game. Because Jack Black just does Jack Black. Pocket Bravery and Street Fighter 6 rounds up the best fighting games. Best role-playing game. You got Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Lies of P, Autopay Checking, Let the Best Bill Win. You ever play that? That's when you set up autopay on all of your credit cards and bills, and then you put your money in there, and you just see who's gonna auto pay it out first. Let the best bill win. Sea of Stars and Starfield, of course, in RPG. That's definitely got our vote. I'm pretty much. Baldur's Gate 3 is strong. Final Fantasy I'm tired of. Lies of P is good, but I don't know. Starfield, I think, is the best role-playing game this year so far.
It won't get it though.
Best action adventure game. Alan Wake
They'll
2.
probably give it to Lies of P is going to be is what they're going to give it to.
Lies of P is a strong game. It's not a bad game.
It is, but it's not a Baldur's Gate or a Starfield.
I agree. Best action adventure game, you're going to have Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Now, I like the fact that Jedi Survivor and Tears of the Kingdom is in there because they were released earlier in the year. I think that is the toughest category right now, I feel. Because Spider-Man 2
Did I miss something? I thought they were on like Resident Evil 27 now.
Well, Resident Evil 4 was reissued. And again, every one of these is a banger. Alan Wake 2 is great if you're into the Alan Wake series. Spider-Man 2, two of my kids are playing it, and it's incredibly open and great fun. Very much, if you're into Spider-Man, it's very much the Starfield or Bethesda of Spider-Man. It's just open world, and there's so much to do. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, I still pop that in. That's still a quality game, especially as a Star Wars fan. And Legend of Zelda, you don't have to say anything else about Legend of Zelda. It's just,
I
it's
don't know
Legend
that they've
of
ever
fucking
released
Zelda.
a bad. I don't know that I've ever seen a bad Zelda game ever.
Ever. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Best action game: Armored Core 6, Dead Island 2, Ghost Runner 2, Hi-Fi Rush, and Remnant 2. I have no fucking clue why Hi-Fi Rush is on this list. So, Hi-Fi Rush I've played, and as a musician, I've played on stage. I haven't fiddled with my bass in a while, but as a musician, Hi-Fi Rush was extremely difficult to play because the song that you're hearing and the beats that you're trying to play, I don't know if it's button lag, Wi-Fi lag. I don't know what the problem is, but it's not in time. In my opinion, it's just not in time. And I talked to a studio musician that I used to work with, and he said the same thing. Like, he tried Hi-Fi Rush, and he's like, I should ace this game. Like, he's got a fucking bachelor's degree in musical theory. Like, he knows where the beats go, where the melody is. And you sit there, and as a musician, you sit there and you play Hi-Fi Rush, and you're like, is this the bass line, the melody line? What the fuck line are they following to get this beat? I've played it. It's not fun. It's a fun game, but getting that, and they even have a
But action game.
Yeah,
I don't get that.
Best VR. Best VR is going to be Gran Turismo 7, Humanity, Horizon Call of the Mountain, Resident Evil Village VR, and Snaps. Now, I've played Horizon Call of the Mountain, and I've played Gran Turismo 7. Resident Evil Village is just terrifying. It's just like you expect in a horror game. It's just terrifying in VR. Horizon Call of the Mountain literally made me sick. And it doesn't happen a lot on VR. But the fact that I was climbing shit, and it's just it's all on a mountain, and I have a fear of heights. So the realistic you laugh. The realism of climbing that mountain terrified me. Like, it just didn't do well, and I didn't feel the hand controls worked accurately. Gran Turismo 7, though, man, if you have never played a race sim in VR, you are fucking missing out. You are seriously missing out. Because the field of view, especially cockpit view, that we play a lot. You play cockpit view, don't you?
Yeah.
So the cockpit view in a VR is next fucking level. Like, next level. It's the only racing game I've ever played that. Now, I want to make it clear. I had steering wheels before, and I just got away from them because it didn't have that immersion that I was hoping for. With Gran Turismo 7 in VR, I definitely want to get another wheel and a shifter, because it is to look to your left or right and see where a car is, see if they're near you as you're diving into a corner. That's huge. That's huge.
I don't know why you bother to look anymore. I'm always going to be on your inside quarter panel.
every fucking time. I can tell you for a fact that in Forza, it is you do not your computer. And I know Forza 7 or Forza Motorsport, the new one. I know they don't give you like a complete alert, and with Forza Motorsport now, as the AIs do not replicate the AI of the person you're watching. The AI just represents whatever AI is on the track. But back in the day, like Forza 6 and Forza 5, the AI was basically playing like you. And I swear to you, the new Forza Motorsport does the same thing with you and Fatal. Fatal Fatal's AI is constantly right at the last minute, just taking that extra second to brake so he gets in front of me on the quarter panel, and I got to brake harder on the corner. You, on the other hand, your AI in Forza Motorsport has brake checked me on the straightaway. You've fucking dove into my quarter panel. I'm like, this is definitely either Freebo's playing and he's not telling me, or the AI is legitimately playing as Freebo. Like, I can almost hear you saying sorry or giggling after every move that you make.
Yeah,
Like, especially,
sorry happens very infrequently.
we're about to drop a couple of.
That only happens when something happens that I didn't intend, which doesn't happen very often.
The highlight reels for both Stick Style and BGFG are about to be dropped with the end of the year, and I can tell you that one of the highlights is literally you brake checking me on a straightaway in Forza Motorsport, and I just sit there and I laugh hysterically, and I can hear you in my ear laughing. I know you're not there, but I'm like, oh, he fucking definitely laughed at me. Okay, and finally, Game of the Year. Game of the Year has Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I agree that all of these are contenders for Game of the Year, but there is one game that's absolutely missing. Starfield.
I don't disagree.
100%.
The one thing out of this whole list, and you had to have known that Starfield. I mean, just because of all the flack that they've been getting, you had to have known they weren't going to put it in there. But the one thing that gets me out of the different categories,
Wait, what
some of these
flack? What
categories
flack?
are just stupid.
What flack is Starfield beginning?
That it's just flat.
There's
There's nothing, there's just nothing to it. Fallout this was better and that was better and da 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 da.
You and
Whatever,
I disagree.
people.
Go on.
But best community support.
Yeah, that's another category. Yeah.
Okay, fine. But did you see which one was in there?
No,
Which
I didn't even look.
I'm just looking at it. And I'm like,
what's in it?
Be a joke.
What's in it?
Okay, I'm going to read the list. You tell me which one you think is just an absolute joke. Like someone did it just as like a backhanded insult.
Good.
Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, No Man's Sky.
Ooh, toss up between Destiny 2 and Cyberpunk. Because those two are just fucking trash heaps right now.
Yeah. The Destiny 2's community support is, we're not doing anything else with this game. Sorry.
Yeah. Like, they're not even going to fix stuff that's broken or OP. And Cyberpunk just went through so many problems. They released that give them credit. They released that new update that fixed a lot of the problems and gave you a new chapter. Great. But still, you had a lot of problems. Like, you had a lot of problems.
I mean, they did, but you also have to look at what Cyberpunk was, what it was bringing to the table, the innovation. I mean, when you're the first one to do some of the things that they've done, you're going to have issues that you don't foresee unless you have someone like me beta testing for you.
Right.
Someone like me that breaks Starfield in the first 3 days.
Yeah, you did. You fuck. I've had a lot of gamer friends tell me that I should try Cyberpunk. I might do it during a vacation or something. I might try it just to see because they said it's very much like a futuristic Starfield. I don't know. I'm so hooked on Starfield right now, and rightfully so. I think there's just so much to fucking do in Starfield. And then when you hit the Game Plus,
that game is ridiculous.
I've
been playing it this whole time, and I've literally not not done anything. I've not built any kind of an outpost. I've upgraded a couple weapon systems on a ship. That's it. I mean, as far as things you can do with the game, the rest of it, I'm just running around having fun, creating
Now,
havoc here and there.
did you finish all the factions?
No,
Did you finish the main story?
no.
So you've been doing the side quests and the extra little blue icon things. And let me tell you, people, when Fremo and I play, that's all he's doing. He's hijacking ships. He's sandboxing the whole first run. I've already extended onto the game plus, and it does change things, and you do get other stuff and the whole 9 yards. But it's still like I still sit there and like even in the game plus that I'm at now, I'm sitting there looking at it, going, "Do I want to do just the main quest and skip these other fucks till later?" Like that's fun. Like I'm doing the Freestar Rangers right now just to get the ship, and then I'm going to abandon that completely. And I don't
You
even
get
know
a
why.
ship with the Rangers?
Yeah,
That's how far I've gotten with them. I don't have a ship for them yet.
Yeah, when you finish the 8-story or 8-segment story,
I
you get a ship.
have paid the Crimson Fleet approximately $500,000 in bounty fees at this point.
That's awesome. So we're gonna find out who all these winners are.
Like 187,000 coming in one chunk.
We're gonna find out who. We're gonna find out who all these winners are for the Gamer Awards on December 8th. So we'll see what happens. It's a shame that the Game of the Year is not going to have Starfield in it, because I truly feel it would win because of the size of it, not just
it's massive.
Yeah,
It's
not just
massive.
the popularity. Right. Also in gaming news, another round of layoffs happened, which is unfortunate. But the economy is fine, really. Don't worry about it. The economy is good. Don't worry. This time it's Amazon. Their gaming division just laid off 180 employees in their gaming division. Now, Amazon has the money and the stroke to be able to make this a viable online cloud gaming service. They do. And they laid off 180 people. Layoffs included the entire Twitch channel, Crown Channel, it was called. That's the entire Twitch channel. They laid off all the employees. Dude, you're Amazon. You fucking own Twitch. Like, you own Twitch. How did you just, I don't even understand how you lay off all the people.
You know who's going to buy it?
What? Twitch?
Yeah.
Who?
Microsoft.
Oh, I don't think so.
Half their work's already done. It's already defunct.
That is well played right there. That is absolutely well played, because it's true.
Wait, it's up for sale and it's already defunct? Yes.
They had one of the best streaming services at the time. I can't remember what the name of Meta. What the hell was the name of that fucking stupid? It doesn't matter. Microsoft had a streaming network going, and it was integrated with everything in the PC and the Xbox, and it worked phenomenally, and then they just stopped. They paid a bunch of people. One of the guys I know, and I helped build the computer that they use in Sea of Thieves. You know, now it's another guy that's been building them for him, but he used to work for us. And that guy got a huge contract that got paid out. Ninja got a huge contract that was paid out because Microsoft just decided, like they always do, we don't need that. We're good. But the problem that bothers me, not just that Amazon owns Twitch and they removed all these people from their Twitch channel, was that the standard, I know this is difficult news, the decision was not an easy one. Really?
Bullshit.
Complete bullshit. Don't tell me. I work in retail. I work for a big company. You saw that it wasn't making money, and you expected the little time that it was out, that it was working, and it didn't. Don't forget that they just let go also of 100 employees in the same division in April. The same division, the gaming division. So you completely, and this is what I want people to see. All you sheeple, I want you to pay attention. Watch the news. They constantly degrade and take. My company deleted 30% of their workforce earlier this year. 30%. And they want you to make up for it by working you double hard. You know, the severity. the problem is that all of these places, especially retail, is going to be understaffed for the holidays. If you're a holiday shopper, don't bother going in and asking for all sorts of help and all sorts of shit because it's not going to happen. I'm sorry. We're all understaffed. We're all wondering what the fuck we're going to do. We're all wondering how we're going to serve everybody. And it's going to be damaging. The bottom line is going to be absolutely absurd and not going to work at all. And I guarantee there are more layoffs coming. I guarantee there are more layoffs coming in the beginning of the new fiscal year. I guarantee it. I can tell you, my company alone, I can tell you 3 divisions that are getting cut completely out. Completely out. And it's all a money grab. And my God, I could go on a rant. And one day I'm either going to get severanced, I'm going to quit, or I'm going to get fired from my mouth. Because when that happens, listen to that show. Because I'm literally going to. You too.
I'm
getting
to them going, you know what? We just don't need you anymore.
I'm going to. Oh my God. If that happened to both of us at the same time, that's going to be the most epic show. And I really hope. I shouldn't say that because we both need our jobs. But I kind of hope it's around episode of 500 because that's going to be an epic show.
Oh, it'll be a live in person.
Oh my God. It'll be. I can't even tell you the fact that
it's not like I'll have to go to work the next day.
Right. And the companies that we work for, like the amount of stuff that we will divulge will be groundbreaking. Like I can't believe that we wouldn't get like massive hits for it because it's just the stuff that we do. You know what? Okay. So in the new year, in the new fiscal year, there's going to be more layoffs for probably both of our companies. I really hope I'm wrong, but the majority, the odds are very good. Moving on. Xbox, again, in trying to create more buzz and money, is in conjunction with Warner Brothers with their Wonka movie. So there's several interesting things in the giveaway, and it's giveaways. You're not gonna go buy these. You have to win them. Wonka inspired Series X and a storefront display, which I have up in the video. You'll see it's not a chocolate Xbox, people. Most likely, the same Starfield cover that I have is the cover that they're probably going to use for that. If they don't, they're just painting that shit brown and putting the Wonka logo on it, which is fine. You know, if you win it, that's fine. The display is very cool. If you and I ever had a business, I would want this there on display. I think it's a great selling point. The other thing is the controller, which is the same color as the jacket that Willy Wonka wears. That's not great. I mean, I should say it's not great, but if you're a Wonka fan, it's exactly the color of the jacket. That's nothing to really write home about. Then you get the box of chocolates. So the box of chocolates, they call it the X box of chocolate. See what I did there? The X box of chocolate. It's an edible Xbox
controller. This controller is edible.
Yes. In the box of chocolates, the controller is edible. And then you have 5 distinct chocolates that are named according to games, and it's really kind of cliche. But you can only win it, and it only, I think, 5 of these available as a set. Not too bad. Again, I don't know. It's a themed Xbox for a movie. I mean, the movie's not going to do great. Who the fuck wants this? Really? I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
In other head scratcher news, PlayStation decided to do a patent. They just applied for a patent that will allow you to launch a game right before the save point.
I don't know. It could be good. I'm looking at who's in it. It's got Rowan Atkinson.
What does? The Willy Wonka?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying the movie's bad. I'm saying the tie-in doesn't need to be there.
Yeah. It's ridiculous, but yeah.
But Sony is releasing a PS5. They just applied for a patent that will allow you to launch a game right before the save point. It's called Game Launch. And I quote, you can resume the activity right before their most recent game save.
Okay. That would be very helpful.
Yeah, but we already fucking do that. Like before you start a section of Starfield that you know the music just changed, or any game that the music changed, you immediately hit
Yeah,
a
but
quick save point.
there's those instances like where I got stuck, and you did too in Starfield, where
Yeah.
the game save immediately launches. Like when it launches, you're in the middle of something that you can't
Finish.
you can't get around, can't get out of, and so you have to back up an additional game save. And how much do you lose in that?
Right, but this
Like that one where I jumped in, I don't have the ship for it, but when the quick save launches, I'm literally already in a dogfight and I don't have the ship to get out of it.
right, and you have to back up. You have to continuously back up till you find
If I
that
had
point that you
30
can't.
seconds, if I had 30 seconds before that game save,
I know, I remember. But I'm saying, like, you just kept backing up the game saves. This is reliving the exciting moment. Like, are you kidding me? Like, not maybe the moments right before a trophy or an achievement. No, that would be cool. You know, like you get, like, say if it did a different game save because you just got on the Xbox, a diamond achievement, or on PlayStation, you got a platinum trophy. Yeah, clicking on that and backing it up, say a minute or two, so you can relive that achievement that you got, big or small. That would be cool. This is not that. This is basically what you and I do in Starfield all the fucking time, and they're trying to do a patent on it. And the thing that pisses me off is that you just fucking remove the share button, you assholes. So even if I relive that moment and do it slightly better or cleaner, right? Maybe choose a different gun or whatever, do one-shot kills instead of just working my ass off. What the hell's the point on the PlayStation? You can't back it up. I mean, I still really appreciate my PlayStation, but you've crippled me with game sharing.
you're getting there. You're getting there. I love it. He's not fully on the dark side, but he's walking in the murky.
I'm getting there. I am. And finally, this week, we spoke about the HYTE case before, and I'm really excited to show this to everybody. We talked about the HYTE case before, and if you're watching on YouTube, you can see the video of the original HYTE case, the Y60. So HYTE's the company, the case is the Y60. Beautiful case. I have mine on my right side right here. I can see it in the glass. But the fact that I have 3 different panels, whether it's big or small, the front, the little quarter piece that's flattened out now, and then the side panel, that I can see everything in my computer, I think that's very cool, especially if you're very much into RGB. I had one at the shop, and it was a wonderful build, very much good if you buy enough fans. Good to do. It was a white build. It was an all-white build free. It was beautiful. They even got a white video card. It was a beautiful build, white cables. It was just beautiful. And the fact that you can see everything in it is even another step. Well, HYTE has now stepped it up. The key to the Y60 was a wraparound glass, that little quarter on the side that you can see through. Now that angled corner gives you the Y70 touch. Now the Y70 touch adds that corner, that visible corner, as an LCD panel, and it's a touchscreen. Huge fucking game changer. Like literally a game changer. Allowing you to have an image, a GIF, or stats on your PC, which everybody loves, right on that corner, and it's touchscreen capable. Literally anything could be on that screen, whether you want to put a video on it, anything. The case will also accommodate 10 fans in it. So you get the bottom, you get the 3 on the bottom, 3 on the top, you get the 3 in the front, 1 exhaust fan, but you can make the bottom exhaust as well. So you're going to have really good positive airflow.
Why would you want to make the bottom exhaust? That's where you want to pull in your cool air.
Well, a lot of times unfortunately, idiots keep the computer on the floor. So you just
on carpet,
yeah. So you just pull it in hot air. No point. If you're on a desk, I think the bottom 3 fans, it doesn't really matter. You really have to look at the airflow itself. But today you're looking at, your processor's not a problem. It's your GPU that's the problem. And with this new case, they actually moved the GPU. If you do it vertically, they move the GPU away from the glass free. So you have that extra bit of airflow for those 3 fans that you can see.
Yeah.
So they've really done well with it. And I would have a hard time deciding between this case and that Starfield case we talked about last week to do a build. And my gosh, if we ever opened up a business, I would be making custom builds all the time and just literally selling them. It'd just be fucking awesome. The price could make a difference, though. This case is not cheap.
Okay. I just solved your problem.
Really?
You have an LCD panel.
Yeah.
It's white.
Yeah.
Build it.
Well, you can get a black one.
Put the Starfield stripes
Oh.
on the LCD panel.
And then do all your colors on the RGB Starfield color. Yeah, you're right. I can't lie. That's pretty hot. Yeah, it's pretty good. The price might make a difference for you, though. The case is going to cost you $360. That is not fucking cheap. We can get really good cases from Corsair with really good airflow for $100 or less in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
With discounts and shit. But this is $360. But again, if I was doing another high-end build, I would probably get this case for the simple fact that I can monitor all my stats right there on the LCD panel. I don't have to run a different piece of software on the computer itself. I mean, yeah, it's going to pull from the computer resources, but I don't have to run something on my screens that's going to give me temperatures and thresholds and FPS, and I could do it right there and just glance over at it and look at it. So that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool. What do you think of it? Yeah, cool.
I mean, if I was going to build a rig, I'd probably seriously consider this.
Yeah, it's really nice having, especially if you have your computer to the left of you and up to the right of you and up high. It's tough to it's a tough not to go with that. All right, last segment. Okay, so not a lot here this week in tech news, but we will start off with a tool I use on rare occasions, but I do use it. And this is Speedometer Browser Test.
Speedometer?
Yep.
Oh, you mean speedometer?
Sure. If that's the way you want to pronounce it. Is from browserbenchmark.org. They offer 3 different load tests for your browser. I couldn't tell what a great number is because it's going to, see, Freebo's doing it now. I'll do mine now. Hold on. Let me pull up a browser.
They really need to give a epilepsy warning before starting this test. You can see it flashing on me, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I'm doing
man, I
mine
see
too,
it
and
on
everybody's
yours
going to
now.
see it flashing on my side. Yeah. Now, I use this at work once in a while. And I use this just to tell people, like when people say my browser's crap and my browser's not working right, and I know it's not the browser, it's the websites they're going to, I'll use this to tell them, this works, this doesn't work. And basically show them, because sometimes customers need to know that their shit's fine and they don't believe your words. So you have to show them something in order for them to believe it.
Yeah.
Okay, mine's almost done. What'd you get?
169 plus or minus 3.3.
I got a 377 plus or minus 8.8.
And you're hardwired?
I'm hardwired, and I have an i9 4090.
Yeah, I'm on Wi-Fi.
Yeah, so that's going to give you the difference. The company offers up 3 different load tests, and again, this is something that you can turn around and show customers or prove to yourself that your shit's working fine. Again, it's okay. It's just something that you can use. I just wanted to put it in there for something that you can play with. But what's more important I want to talk about this week is, unfortunately, Windows 23 H2 is out, the newest Windows feature update. So we've talked about the feature update before, and the
And this is
RGB.
unfortunate because
I'll get to it. The RGB stuff is cool in the new feature update. You can control other RGB stuff, which is very cool in the operating system. Here's what you want to avoid, though, in the 23H2. First thing is passkey. Passkey on Windows is okay. I've used passkey on Apple's platform. Passkey on Windows combined with Windows Hello is what passkeys are actually for. That's what they designed them for. Now, Freemo and I will tell you without a doubt, know your fucking password. Period. Whether it's a PIN number or a password, know it. Because eventually you're going to use this Face ID or Windows Hello so much you're going to forget that password if you didn't write it down. And then guess what? People like me and Freemo are fucked to help you. You can achieve the same thing that
I was thinking you're going to say you get hit by a bus and your face don't look the same anymore. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
I don't even have words for that. You can achieve the same.
Hits you with a jar of acid. Now you're taking into your computer.
You can achieve the same thing with just face recognition and be fine. Hey, and this doesn't work on the best thing. This passkeys don't even work on mobile platforms.
He can't even talk straight now.
Yeah, and this
redheads have that effect on him.
I do. They do. They 100% do. This doesn't even work on mobile platforms or other computers. It's just that one computer, and it's really a one-trick pony, and it's not needed. Use your fucking password or your PIN number. Mostly because you're, like we talked about before, you eventually forget your password, and then we're screwed. We can't help you. The other thing they released in this is Copilot, and they just added AI, which everyone is pushing way too hard. And it's you got to pull back on it. AI is just not needed in an OS, in my opinion, at all, in any way. MS Paint is back. They've made things easier for you to remove backgrounds. But when you go into
a lot of functionality to Paint.
Right, which is essentially, yes, it's free, but it's just as cumbersome. If you thought for a minute that Photoshop was too hard to work with, don't use Paint, because it's probably going to be a bigger learning curve, if not the same.
Yeah.
Another thing that they installed is Snippy Tool. So I've been a fan of Snippy Tool for a while. I think it's a very good addition to Microsoft. But when you hit the print screen button, it still doesn't activate Snippy Tool. Like, why doesn't it do that? This is a basic feature that people use. It's been on every fucking keyboard, and most people don't even know how to use it. But when you hit print screen, you shouldn't even have to hit Alt. If you hit the print fucking screen button, it should pull up Snipping Tool. I don't understand why this
just map it.
How many people
just
are
map that key? Map that key to be your Windows button Shift S.
How many customers have you had?
Would you like me to help you with that?
No, shut up. How many customers have you had that couldn't do that to save their lives? Unless you do it.
That's what I'm saying. Do you want me to help you do that?
Shut up. And finally, and I think this is most important, and Freemo will agree with me, I have no doubt. Don't use
Keyboard
Windows
mapping,
11 Pro.
101.
Don't use Windows 11 Pro upgrade. Don't fucking use it. You know why? Because you don't fucking need it in any way. You don't. Because people like me or Freemo, that your IT people, will tell you when you need it. And then we'll install it. If you're on a corporate computer, we'll install it. Because that's part of our job. But if you're a consumer, you don't. If you think
you're asking for headaches with Pro. If it's not in an environment that you need it for. If you're just putting Pro on there so you can say you have it, you're giving yourself headaches that you don't need.
Oh, 100%. And I have one word to tell you what headache you're going to have. BitLocker.
Yeah.
Because BitLocker is on by default in Pro, and not me nor Freemo can bypass BitLocker. If that gets activated on your computer, you're fucked. I'm going to reset your computer back to factory. I'm going to back up whatever I can, which is most likely nothing.
Because BitLocker.
Because BitLocker, and I can't bypass it. I don't have some secret wand I'm going to wave in front of your computer. I can't send it out to some place
You know
to have
that,
it
that
removed.
big long number that it spit out for you, it told you to keep that you didn't?
Or the Microsoft account that you can't fucking remember that we set up when you first bought the computer 2 years ago. Yeah.
Because you don't remember the password because pass keys with hello. Yeah, you're screwed.
Yeah, I can't help you. Normal consumers do not need Pro. They need Pro about as much as they need a VPN. It's just not a thing. You don't need it. If you're IT person at work, good.
Seriously, if and this is well, now I'm not going to say that because I don't want to give somebody false hope. If you have BitLocker turned on and you don't have that recovery key for BitLocker, you don't have the money to pay someone to unencrypt it.
Oh my God, no. Oh no.
It's
One of the
not like a crashed hard drive that you can send to a clean room where they go in and they do sector reads
Right.
and rebuild your drive. It's so far beyond that
Yeah.
you don't have the money for that. Is
And
it possible? Is it technically possible? Yes, but you don't have the money for it.
and as an Apple fanboy, I'll be the first one to say, if you feel that Apple's not the same, you're wrong. Because there's File Vault on Apple computers. Same thing as BitLocker. You turn that fucker on, I can't get your shit. Like ever. Like I can't. It's just not a thing. If you want something useful though, I would say a good Thunderbolt dock. Especially if you have a business computer. A good Thunderbolt dock will do you just right. Just right. And as much as I can't stand HP, I have to recommend their HP Thunderbolt dock G2. I think it's a phenomenal dock. It's powered, so you're gonna have to plug it in, but it's a dock that you're gonna have on the desk that you have at home. So when you get home, you're gonna plug this in. It's gonna give you a 15-watt USB-C charging port, 2 USB-A ports, 2 display ports for other monitors, which you're gonna maybe want at home, an Ethernet port for hardwiring, and a 100 watts of charging power. Now, it might be a little underpowered for if for some ungodly reason your business gave you a computer that's a gaming laptop, like an Alienware that needs that huge 250-watt power supply outside. You're kind of screwed. You might have to plug that shit in directly.
I mean, for the price, what you're getting there, that's not a bad deal by any means.
Right.
For me personally, I think it doesn't have all the
What would you
jacks that I
want?
want to have.
What is it missing? You have 2 USB-A ports. That's your mouse and keyboard if you want. You have USB-C charging port, which you can use for your phone. And you also have one for your laptop itself. But like we said, if you have a higher-end laptop, you got to plug it in directly. You have an Ethernet port for fast connection, and you have 2 display ports for multiple monitors. What is it missing?
HDMI.
I knew you were going to fucking say that.
And I knew you knew. That's why I paused so long.
I hate you so much.
It's such a shame you can't see what finger I'm holding up.
You might have to go buy an adapter to display port to HDMI. Douche.
Douchebag. Look, I said it was for the price. It was a
yeah, it's $89. $89.
Yeah.
That's a fucking price right there.
I mean, right. the Microsoft dock for their tablets, their Surface products, their Thunderbolt docks run about 160,
and they're not good. Look, I'm not a fan of them. I think they have very limited connectivity. I see what they're doing, but this one has way more, way better. It seems like with the Microsoft Surface docks, you have to connect another dock if you want like multiple monitors. Really? Because the ones that I saw had 2 USB-As, Ethernet, USB-C, maybe 2 USB-Cs, but not like multiple monitor outputs. I haven't seen multiple HDMI on any of them.
Well, I mean, this one didn't have any HDMI. So what are you griping about?
Douchebag. All right, so it's now middle of November. middle of November. We're starting to stop. We're starting to wind down a little bit for the rest of the year. You're gonna from this point on. I don't know if we're gonna do one Thanksgiving week. I don't know. It depends on my schedule, really, because of retail hell.
Well, it won't happen on next Thursday. I mean, that's a given.
Well, next Thursday's not retail hell, so I should be able to put something together. But we're gonna start doing our.
You do know what next Thursday is, though, right?
No, hold on. No. Next Thursday is the 23rd.
Yeah, Thanksgiving.
I need a pair of hands real quick.
Right.
Ones that you know they're aware.
So what we're going to do is we're probably going to do possibly a show next week, maybe not. But then we're going to really kind of start spearheading our buys for the holidays for the kids, the missus, and us, and gamers. So we're going to throw that together. That's going to be our shows for the next couple of days. We're going to do, or a couple of weeks, we're going to do a lot of Christmas songs. Expect 12 Pains of Christmas. And then, of course, the week of Christmas and the week after, we won't be doing shows, but we'll have the highlight reel going. And it's debatable whether Fremont and I will jump in and talk about the highlights as we're watching them. We did that last year, didn't we?
We talked about it last year.
Yeah.
We didn't actually do it. I just want to say, because Phoenix isn't going to get me the gift that I want in time. I need the Die Hard Christmas countdown
Which one?
with Hans Gruber, Nakatomi Tower. I can't believe it didn't make the show.
No,
That's how I
I'm
know
saving
you're
it.
not gonna get it for me.
No, I'm saving it.
That needs to be out there. People need to get it.
It will be. Don't worry. We have like 6 shows until Christmas. We'll get it out there.
But the countdown.
Right, the Advent
You
calendar.
need to have it within the next week and a half. For it
All
to
right,
be
I'll get
worth
it in
anything.
next week. I will get it in next week.
That we're not doing because it's Thanksgiving.
It's not necessarily Thanksgiving. We'll
No,
figure
next
it out.
Thursday's Thanksgiving.
Whatever. I'm not subscribing to that point of view. I'm trying. I work in retail. I'm trying to
Google Thanksgiving 2023 and see what day it tells you it is.
I am literally trying to avoid this on retail. It's awful. All right. So that's it. We'll see you possibly next week. Probably not. We could probably do something on the weekend. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, Sunday maybe.
Yeah, maybe. So that's it for this week. I'm
down for doing it on Friday next week.
It's possible too. Oh, Friday.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, maybe.
The day after Thanksgiving, you'll be available?
No.
Yeah. Didn't think
Black
so.
Friday. No, I'll be working a 12-hour shift.
Yeah. And you may not be available Sunday. So we may just have to skip a show next week.
Possibly.
Which is not unprecedented.
Well, we've done that for years. I've worked in retail for years. We've done that for years.
Yeah.
All right. That's it for this week. 10's down. Show's over.
So you can find more of this garbage at bgfgonline.com. You can also send us an email with your questions or suggestions at bgfgshow@gmail.com. Find our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Overcast Podcast, Castro, Castbox, Podchaser, and YouTube. Thank you for listening.